So yesterday was a very interesting day. We left home at 7:30 and started with having an iron injection just to get my hemoglobin levels up to the amount required for the surgery next week. And then later on in the day we met with the surgeon in preparation for that surgery and the operation that was due. And that's where we had a really interesting turn of events. In fact, we actually didn't get home until gone 10 o'clock last night in the end. So I've got some really encouraging news to share, but just before I do, just to remind where we're up to. So in January, I was diagnosed with advanced stage 3 breast cancer. I then had 3 chemotherapy sessions, and at the midway point, the oncologist said she didn't think it was shrinking and that if anything, it was probably growing. There was then some confusion about what the next steps meant and what we should do, with different people having different opinions. And so on Tuesday this week, we went and got a second opinion from one of the world's leading oncologists, who agreed actually that we needed to quickly get into surgery and to then do a full mastectomy in that and a full auxiliary clearance of all the nodes in this area here. And that was the bit that I was really wrestling with, because the mastectomy is one thing, but I've got such an active life. My primary sports are that I swim, I cycle, I run, and it would have been really, really debilitating if I did get lifelong lymphedema and all the issues that go with it. So I was really struggling with that. But I really sensed God saying to me that I had to surrender everything. And it's no good me saying, well, I believe in God and that He's going to heal me, if I'm holding on to the fact that I want Him to do it in my way. And I really sensed Him saying that I had to let that go, that I had to totally submit everything to Him so that He could do it in His timing, in His way. And I know that when I went into hospital yesterday, my heart was totally surrendered to that. However, what transpired was that when I met with the surgeon, he did an examination in preparation for next week. And as he did, a very perplexed look started to form on his face. And he said, I can feel that there is still cancer here, but I'm struggling to find it. And in fact, it feels so significantly smaller than I expected it to feel that we need to quickly get you rebiopsied and rescanned. So last night I had another biopsy, I had another mammogram, and I had another ultrasound. All of those scans corroborated what he was saying, and as a result of that, what he is now saying is that we need to get re-MRI'd, which is going to happen in the next day or so, to just validate that everything that he's saying is true. What that means is that we've got far more reassurance about the surgery now. So the mastectomy, part of the reason for doing the chemo in the first place was to shrink it to get the clearance that was needed. It was over a third of my breast, probably bigger actually. And now with this shrinkage, what that means is that the mastectomy, which the surgeon still believes is necessary, will have a higher chance of getting everything away. What it also means is that there's a real potential that with the therapies that I'm about to go through, that lymph node clearance may not actually be needed to the extent that's required. So that is just such an answer to prayer. I'm so full of joy about that. And I don't want to sensationalise what's going on here. But what I do want to say is, I believe that God is healing. He's already sent that authorization. He's already sent that permission, if you like. But He does it in His way, in His timing, and I totally trust what that needs to be. I totally know. I know His character. I know who I am to Him. And so there is nothing for me to worry about or to be fearful about. So we're literally taking this one step at a time and just trusting and believing with absolute expectation every step of the way. I know that you'll make your own mind up about what you think's going on here. I know what I believe. So I look forward to sharing with you what this next steps of the journey may look like. Right now, surgery is being postponed. there's no risk involved in that, because if the long and short of it is that he's wrong for some reason, the MRI will clearly state that, and we can then go back to surgery. But we strongly, strongly believe that actually what we now need to do is the alternative therapies to shrink this further and then regroup. So we'll take it a step at a time. So look forward to sharing some more news soon, guys. Bye-bye.